They're often the last article of clothing we put on, but they're still a vital part of our wardrobe. And for the first time, annual global spending on shoes is expected to top $400 billion. Shoes are a statement of style, personality, and identity. And nowhere is that better showcased than the venue we visited just north of the border.
This is a fan favorite for sure. It is a Louis Vuitton shoe trunk.
Oh my God.
And so if you were to go on a, say, jaunt around the world, this would be one of the trunks that you would take with you and just to hold your shoes.
Oh my God.
This 1920s shoe trunk is just one of an array of pieces on display at Toronto's Bata Shoe Museum, where Elizabeth Semmelheck is the director and senior curator.
Even if you give me a single pair of shoes, and you tell me that I need to research this.
Yeah.
Not only am I going to look at its structure and think about the time period in which it was designed, but who designed it, who made it, who made the materials. There are so many lenses that you could apply to just a single pair of shoes.
The museum was born out of the shoe collection of businesswoman and philanthropist Sonia Bata. It houses nearly 15,000 shoes and related artifacts that trace the evolution of footwear.
Prior to industrialization, a shoemaker could only make a handful of shoes a week. And so that meant that shoes were expensive. So industrialization did many things. It sped up production. But as it sped up production, it also lowered price points.
And gave rise to the celebrity shoe designer.
In the 30s, designers take off. For example, Ferragamo makes the wedge heel in the 30s. The platform comes back in the 30s.
The museum even considers the origin of a style staple for the well-heeled.
At the end of the 30s, of course, World War II breaks out. And what are soldiers putting up in their barracks? Images of Varga girls wearing thin heels. And so it should come as no surprise.
Of course.
That after World War II,
Yes.
It is the stiletto that is invented. One of the most famous shoe designers of the stiletto was Roger Vivier. And he was a shoe designer for Christian Dior, and this is one of his designs.
It's beautiful, but by the way, does not even look high enough.
Do you know what these are?
The stiletto, as we know it today, stepped into pop culture
They don't fit, so help me, I'm gonna wear them anyway.
and onto the screen in the long-running HBO series Sex and the City.
I do love the high heels with the crystals and the glimmer, but
Actress Bridget Moynihan made her TV debut as Natasha on the show,
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
where the designs of Jimmy Choo, Manolo Blahnik, and the like were more than just accessories,
Now, the heels are almost high enough to put me face to face with Natasha.
helping spark a shoe fascination for Moynihan, which eventually blossomed into a book, Our Shoes, Ourselves.
it started with emptying my closet and realizing that 99% of the shoes in my closet I never wear and I can never wear again.
Right.
And I decided I was going to donate them and get rid of them. But as I was putting each pair into a box, I kept retaking them out because, well, this one had a special moment. This
Right.
was at, some premiere, or these pair were from Sex and the City, or another pair was my trip to Africa with my mom. And so everyone had a memory attached to them. And that's why I was holding on to them.
In the book, 40 accomplished women share memories related to the shoes that mean the most to them.
We had an astronaut, a 4-star general, and a senator who was in Iraq.
Yeah.
If you earn those combat boots, it becomes like part of your core. It becomes part of your identity.
Yeah.
And I think that what was a common thread was that everybody, in their own way, felt empowered by those shoes.
Power derived from shoes is something that, until recently, had been reserved for men.
Is it the short socks?
No, Morris.
Money's gotta be the shoes. Shoes.
While the idea of women collecting shoes has been subject to ridicule or dismissed as an indulgence. At the Bata Shoe Museum, that notion is being questioned.
Why do we dismiss women and their shoe consumption as irrational and frivolous when, in fact, it's a multi-billion-dollar business?
Right.
When you think about Air Jordans, Air Jordan 1, Air Jordan 2, Air Jordan 3, it creates a quote-unquote rational structure for collecting
Yeah.
that mirrors other forms of men's collecting.
The museum's recent sneaker collection even provided a way to go back to the future.
The Nike Mag started its life as an idea and was a movie prop. So it was in the movie Back to the Future 2.
Our laces, all right.
And everybody went crazy. But it took until 2015 to find a battery that was small enough yet powerful enough to actually do auto lacing.
Till the real time the movie was made.
Yeah.
The future. Unbelievable.
As for our future, that means considering sustainability in our footwear, with more than 20 billion pairs of shoes manufactured each year. One solution may be artificial leather made from mushrooms.
You get a pattern for the latest design, you put your lasts in, you add some fungus spores, a little bit of corn and a little bit of water, and your shoe grows overnight, and then you can compost it at the end of the day. I think it's a brilliant idea.
I'm looking into the future right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
It's amazing.
Reminding us of the balancing act built into our shoes, no matter the material, size, or color.
Is footwear function or is it fashion? Or when did it change?
Well, I don't think footwear has ever just been function. Even the ability to afford shoes automatically suggests status. And I think that if it was simply just protection, we would all be in flip-flops all summer long, and we're not. There's so much different choice. And so I think that the same impulses that we have within our current society of differentiating ourselves from one another and doing part of that work through our footwear choice has been a part of that history of shoes going back to time immemorial.
So a couple things I want to say. 20 billion pairs of shoes manufactured each year. That's like 2.5 per person on this planet. So think about that. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're making a statement with your shoes. Mine today, I didn't have Honolulu blue to wear for the Lions.
Who are you wearing?
I don't even remember who they are, but I'll tell you, it's the color.
Is that what you
This silver is for my Lions.
Okay.
So you make statements, whether anybody else realizes it or not, you can do that. I know. Michelle, what statement
Michelle,
are
who
you
are you
making?
wearing?
I'm just saying.
You're saying I'm a badass, is what you're saying. No, it is amazing. You may not think about it, Elizabeth says, but as you're putting on a pair of shoes, throughout time, we always have made statements, whether we've meant to or not.
Yeah, I just want to say there's no price tag on the bottom of this red
That's
bottom.
good. That's really good.
That was cool.
They're
Thank you
nice.
for
I
that.
like
Yes.
them very much.
Thank you for that. And Bridget's book, that she's co-author of, is really fascinating, with each story that these women tell and the shoes that represent a story and a part of their life.
You guys tell me before the show every week when we're taping headlines, I don't want to be wearing these heels. I said, well, if you don't want to wear
That's
them.
not what we said.
That
we
is
don't
a
have time to
discussion
get
for later. We're going to have to
All right,
table.
fine.